On a quiet street, glowing with Christmas lights, one house stayed dark. Inside, an old woman sat alone. Her Christmas tree had no lights, no gifts, just silence. Her husband died on Christmas Eve. Her son moved far away. And every year, the phone stayed quiet. Outside, laughter echoed from other homes. Families together, warmth she no longer expected. Then, a knock. A little boy stood on her porch, holding a song in his heart. "Can we sing for you?" he asked. As the first note filled her empty house, tears fell. Not from sadness, but from being remembered. That night, she wasn't alone anymore. A stranger's kindness turned into family. And the light she thought was gone forever came back. This Christmas, one knock changed everything. Because no one should be alone on Christmas. Pause. Snow fell softly on Maple Street. The kind of snow that didn't rush or roar, but drifted gently, as if afraid to wake sleeping memories. Christmas lights glowed from nearly every house, reds, blues, golds, twinkling like promises kept. Every house except one. At the end of the street stood a small, weather-worn home with dark windows and a porch light that hadn't worked in years. People passed it every day, but rarely noticed it. It belonged to Eleanor Whitmore, and this was her 78th Christmas, and she was spending it alone. Pause. Inside, the house smelled faintly of old pine cleaner and dusted wood. Eleanor sat in her recliner near the window, wrapped in a faded wool blanket that once belonged to her husband. The heater hummed weakly against the cold. On the small table beside her sat a chipped mug of tea that had already gone cold. Across the room stood a Christmas tree, or what remained of one. It was small, artificial, missing branches, with no lights and no ornaments, only a single silver star leaning crookily on top. Eleanor hadn't bothered decorating this year. She hadn't bothered for many years. Her eyes drifted to the mantel above the fireplace, where framed photographs gathered dust. A young man in a military uniform. A woman with bright eyes holding a baby wrapped in blue. A family frozen in time before life scattered them apart. She touched one frame gently. "Tom," she whispered. Her husband had died 12 winters ago, quietly on Christmas Eve, with snow falling just like tonight. She had promised she would be all right, and she had lied. The phone hadn't rung in days. Her son Michael lived 3 states away now. Busy life, busy job, busy family. He sent cards sometimes, short, rushed calls. "Next year, Mom," he always said. Promises were easy when distance did the loving for you. Eleanor looked out the window again. Across the street, laughter spilled from a bright home. Children ran through the living room. A man tangled himself in Christmas lights while a woman laughed. Eleanor smiled softly, then turned back to the quiet room. "Just another night," she murmured. She prepared a simple dinner, soup from a can and crackers on a plate. No candles, no celebration. Christmas was just a date now. Then there was a knock at the door. Eleanor froze. No one knocked on her door. Another knock followed, gentle and unsure. She opened it slowly. A small boy stood on the porch in a red coat too big for him, snow clinging to his boots. Beside him stood his mother. "We live 2 houses down," she said. "My name is Rachel." The boy smiled. "We're singing to everyone," he said, "even if they don't decorate." Eleanor felt her throat tighten. "May we sing one song?" Rachel asked. Eleanor nodded. "Yes, that would be lovely," the boy sang. His voice was small and imperfect, but full of heart. Silent night filled the house. Eleanor cried, not from pain, but from being seen. "Merry Christmas," the boy said when they finished. "Merry Christmas," Eleanor whispered back. Rachel noticed the empty room and the bare tree. "Are you alone tonight?" she asked gently. Eleanor nodded. "Would you like to join us for dessert?" Rachel asked. Eleanor hesitated. Then the boy said softly, "No one should be alone on Christmas." Something inside Eleanor broke open. "Yes," she said. "I'd like that." Rachel's home was warm and alive, smelling of cinnamon and pine. Laughter echoed. A dog slid across the floor. They welcomed Eleanor like family. Pie was placed in front of her. Hot cider warmed her hands. "To new friends," someone said. Eleanor laughed, a sound she hadn't heard from herself in years. She told stories. They listened. And for the first time in a long time, she felt she belonged. When Eleanor returned home later that night, her heart felt full. The next morning, sunlight reflected off fresh snow. She opened a small box and placed a faded glass angel on her tree. Then her phone rang. "Mom?" Michael said. "Merry Christmas." "I'm coming home next week," Eleanor cried with joy. "I'll be here," she said. That night, Eleanor noticed her porch light glowing. Across the street, Rachel's family waved. The little boy held a sign that read, "You are not alone." Eleanor smiled, her heart warm. On Maple Street, one small house finally glowed again. And for Eleanor Whitmore, Christmas returned, not as a memory, but as a miracle.